All right, this is your second factoring tutorial. Make sure you have this page printed or have a page, just a blank sheet of paper where you can copy these problems on there. And if you need more room, that might be your preference. Today, I'm excited. This is the over-under method. So let's get started. And again, you can pause, do all that. Okay. So hopefully this is going to be a good thing. All right. So remember I told you that if you don't have a 1, if there's not just x squared all by its lonesome there's a 2 hanging out. We don't like that. We want to get rid of it. And so what we want to do is we want to see if it's a common factor. So we're going to check to see if it's a common factor. So if I put 11 divided by 2 in my calculator, I get a decimal. I get 5.5. So that means it's not a common factor. It is a factor of 14, but it's got to be a factor of all three, of everything. So I can't just stick it out in front and forget about it. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do the over-under method. So I want you to write down in your notebook, on your notes somewhere, over-under method. I'm just going to say over-under. We know it's the method. So over-under. So I'll tell you why it's called over-under. So we're going to take this 2, and we can't just shove it outside parentheses. So what we're going to do is we're going to cheat, okay? So it's okay to cheat if you follow the rules, which means if I cheat, I have to uncheat at the end. So I'm going to cheat by going over. So I'm going to take this 2 over there to the 14 and multiply it. So this may make sense at first, it may not, but just try to follow along with me, and you can rewind it if you need to. Okay, so what happened essentially was I did get rid of the 2. I'm going to not have it there anymore. So I'm going to say 2x plus, I'm going to copy 11x, but now instead of having the 2 out front, I'm going to have multiplied it by the 14. So 2 times 14 is 28. So that's the over part. Okay. Now it's very, very important that you remember that this is the over-under method, because if you forget to do the under, that means you didn't uncheat at the end. And if you don't undo your cheat, then you get the wrong answer. So let's see. Anyway, the good news is that in my second step here, I get to build my puzzle tray. There's my puzzle tray, easy pieces. I copy that plus. Plus times plus is plus. Now, do you remember which one we're factoring? You can pause it if you want to think about it and not let me tell you the answer, because I'm about to tell you. We factor the 28, and it's plus 28. So we're looking for a factor pair that adds up to 11. So let's start out by just factoring 28. 1 times 28. 2 times 14. 3 doesn't go, 4 goes. 4 times 7. 5 doesn't go, 6 doesn't go. We're back to 7. So we exhausted all the possibilities. All right, now I need to see which pair is my winner. Well, they have to add up to 11. So, and that's not because that's plus 11. That's not why they have to add up to 11. This one right here is why they have to add up to 11, that plus 28. We have the same sign, so they have to add up to 11. So again, I'm going to put my big number first because that's my habit. 7 there, 4 there. All right. If we didn't do that little cheat in the beginning by taking that 2 over to the 14, we'd be done. But we cheated. So, like I said, now we got to uncheat. And this is the under part of our over-under method. So what I have to do is, when I did the over part, I multiplied by 2. My under part is going to undo times 2. So my under part means I'm dividing by 2. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to put 2 under 4 and under 7. Okay. Now you have to clean up. All right. So I look and I say, okay, does 2 go evenly into 7? Can I simplify that number? No, I can't simplify it. So what that means is I have to move that 2 up in front of the x. So I'm going to rewrite this with 2 in front of x. 2x plus 7. Okay, now I'm going to check out 4 over 2. Well, guess what? 4 divided by 2 is actually 2. So I get to write that one as x plus 2. And now I'm done. Now, something that might be an important step here would be to multiply it back out to see if it matches your original problem. So I am going to do that. If you want to skip past this, that's fine. There's a couple of ways that that you're shown to multiply binomials. I am, the one that you probably were taught in the very beginning was, oh boy, what is it called? FOIL, the FOIL method. Okay, so I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to show you the stacked. I'm going to show you how to do it by stacking. So FOIL or stack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2x plus 7, and I'm going to stack it with x plus 2. Now, I'm multiplying those. That's what it means when you have parentheses next to parentheses. So first, I'm going to go 2 times 7 to get 14. And that's plus 14. Then I'm going to go, so that was 2 times 7. Now I'm going to go 2 times 2x. And that gives me 4x. Okay, I'm all done with 2 now. Now I'm going to put a placeholder. And I'm going to go x times 7. And that's 7x. X times 2x. And that was a plus 7x. X times 2x is 2x squared. Now I'm so far down here in the corner of my iPad, I don't know if y'all can even see it. So I am going to move it over to the left. So I'm just going to copy it. Let me just make room over here. I'm just going to copy it. If you want to fast forward through my nonsense, you can. So I'm just going to move it over here. And I have 4x plus 14. And then I have 2x squared plus 7x plus 0. Now I just add like terms. That would be my columns. Okay. So 14 plus 0 is plus 14. 4x plus 7x is plus 11x. And then I've got my 2x squared out front. And guess what? That matches what I started with. So that tells me that I did it right. Now, I'm going to show you something that this is related to, stacking, this stacking method. So back when you were first learning how to multiply 2-digit numbers. So let's think way back to elementary school. And let's say you were multiplying or let's do a different one. 16 times, and let's don't do 16. I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible. Let's say we were multiplying 13 times 12. Okay. So when you, and let me move it up. Dang it. I'm running out of room. Sorry. I'm going to move it higher. Get rid of all this over here. Okay. So when you were doing 13 times 12. Well, first you went 2 times 3, right? And maybe I'll write what we did when we multiplied those two binomials so we can kind of compare. Let's do that. So we were multiplying 2x plus 7 times x plus 2, right? So When we were in elementary school doing this, we did that ones unit. We did 2 times 3, and we put the answer right there. So that's, let me put that in a different color. So that is what we did when we did 2 times 7. Same thing. We did our constants, or our ones unit on the right, our constants in the algebraic one. Okay, then the next thing we did was we did 2 times our tens unit. So our ones unit times our tens unit. So 2 times 1 gave us a 2 right there. So we're doing the same thing over here in the algebra. We're going 2 times our first term. So 2 times 2x is 4x. All right, now the next step in elementary school was we put a placeholder right there. So that's our next step right here. We put a placeholder. And then we were done with 2. We're done with 2. We took the 1, and then we did 1 times 3, and we put it right there. And so same thing over here on the left, x times 7, and we put it right here, 7x. And then back over to elementary school, we did 1 times 1, and that gave us a 1. Okay, over on the left with algebra, x times 2x gave us 2x squared. Okay, now back over here to elementary school on the right, we add the columns. 6 plus 0 gave us 6. 2 plus 3 gave us 5. And then there's a 1. So it's the same idea, because over here on the left, we're going to go 14 plus 0 gives us 14. 4x plus 7x gives us 11x. 2x squared is just there by itself in the beginning. So it's the same method that you use when you learn to multiply numbers that had more than one digit. So hopefully that makes it easier. Okay, so let's move on along, and I will go through a few of these. I may just go through all of them. I'll see how much time I have. All right, let's look at number 2. You can pause it and try it on your own, or you can just go through, let me go through this one with you. So 3 doesn't go into 2 or 20. Well, it goes into 21, but it doesn't go into 2. So it's lost cause. Can't do it. So I have to use over under. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to write my r squared by itself because that's what I wanted, and I get what I want. But I'm going to cheat and multiply 3. I'm going to take it over to the 21. I copy my minus sign. 3 times 21 is 63. Okay, done. Now I get to do this easy stuff. Back what we started doing in the very beginning of that other page. Here's my puzzle tray, my easy pieces. Okay, I'm going to copy my minus. And if you remember, we went negative times negative, minus times minus to give us this sign over here. And now we're ready to factor 63. So 1 times 63, 2 doesn't go. 3 times 21. 4 doesn't go. 5, 6, 7. 7 goes. 7 times 9. Well, guess what? This is a minus 21, right? Oh, yeah, it's a minus 21. So it's a minus 63. So if it's minus, I want to know which numbers subtract to be 2. And my winning pair here is 9 and 7. 63 minus 1 is way big. 21 minus 3 is too big. 9 minus 7 gives us 2. And very, very important to put the big one first. Okay, so now, are we done? You might hope so. You might be tempted to stop right there, but we cheated. So we got to uncheat. So we multiplied by 3. That means we have to divide by 3. So we're going to divide by 3. We're going to put it under here. Under here. Okay. So in my first little quantity, 9 divided by 3 is actually 3. So I get to keep that one just like that, r minus 3. In my second sum, my quantity. 7 divided by 3 gives me a decimal. So I can't do that. I have to put the 3 in front of the R. So 3R plus 7. And I'm not going to go through multiplying it out to check, but you can do that if you would like. All right, I'm just going to go through the examples. And really, I hope you're not just letting me do this for you. I want you to try. So you try, then pause it if you need to as you go, play a little bit. And I think that this is probably going to be a pretty good tool. All right. 3 doesn't go into 7 or 20 this time. So we got to do over under. That tells me, boom, over under. There's not an n squared, just plain n squared there. I want n squared. I want what I want. So I'm going to just have n squared by itself. 3, go away. All right, go over there. All right, so n squared plus 7n. Copy my minus. 3 times 20 is 60. Okay, so now I'm going to take the factor pairs of 60, and it's a minus 60. So I want them to subtract to be 7. So 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10, 7 doesn't go, 8 doesn't go, 9 doesn't go, and I'm back to 10. Whew, I'm exhausted, but I got all the possibilities. So I forgot to put my puzzle tray here first. Let me put my puzzle tray there with my easy pieces. There's a plus right here, and positive times negative gives me a negative. Okay. I want these guys to subtract to be 7. Okay, so I say, well, I want them to subtract to be 7. Let's see. I'm going to go from the bottom because I want a small. 10 minus 6 is 4. Nope. 12 minus 5 is 7. There's my winner. So I put a 12 first, very important, and a 5 second. Now I cheated. Got to uncheat. Remember, I cheated by going times 3. Got to uncheat by going divide by 3. So I'm going to put a 3 under. That's my under. And my new little binomials down here, they're binomials because they got 2 terms, like a bicycle has 2 tires. I got n plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then 5 divided by 3 gives me a decimal, so I can't do it. I have to put the 3 in front. 3n minus 5. All righty. Woohoo. I got time to do a few more. Let's see what we can do. Do we want to skip down? Yeah. I may as well just keep going. We'll see how much time we have. All right. So, again, these are all over under. Spoiler alert. Every one of them on this page is an over under. And I'm going to kind of breeze through them, and then you can pause and do whatever. So if I'm going a little speedy, please forgive me, but pause and figure out, go back and forth if you want. So we're going to go over. So we're going to cheat by going times 7. I'm just going to put a note out there. That's my cheat. All right. So I wanted m squared by itself. No 7. I got what I wanted, and I get what I want. And that's why I became a math teacher, because I can get what I want. I just have to follow some rules. And then 7 times negative 3 is minus 21. Now it's easy. Easy. M plus, and then plus times minus is minus. I take 21, factor. 1 times 21, 2 doesn't go, 3 times 7, that is it. So there's my pair. 7 minus 3 is 4. So 7 goes first, 3 goes next. I cheated by going times 7. I have to uncheat by doing divide by 7. I have to undo what I did. So I divide by 7, divide by 7. And now I just simplify it, clean it up, and make it look pretty for the teacher. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. So m plus 1. 3 divided by 7 doesn't work, so 7 comes out front. 7m minus 3. Have you noticed that every single time one of them will simplify, but the other one won't? Yeah, that's an important thing to notice. Okay, we'll go see how many we can get done here. Maybe we can finish. We'll see. All right. I am very annoyed that there's a 5 there. I just want n squared. N squared minus 41n plus, but guess what? I can't just leave poor little 5 out in the cold. Nobody to turn to. So I have to use him and make him go over and multiply by 8. So times, so I'm multiplying that times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, now I'm ready for my puzzle tray. We're going to be so good at this. We got lots of practice. N, and then minus times plus is plus. Now I'm factoring 40. 40. So 1 times 40. 2. Oh, you know what? Minus times minus plus is, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hurry. Let me back it up here. That's minus times plus is minus. I was just making sure you were paying attention, right? Sorry. So let me go back. Minus times plus is going to give me minus. I'm sorry. You know what? I made a mistake. Crazy. Okay. So 2 times 20. 3 doesn't go. 4 goes. 4 times 40. Boy, I'm trying to hurry. Slow down, Kelly. But trying to hurry. 4 times 10. 5 goes. 5 times 8. Now, I bet you can see pretty clearly which one adds up to 41. And again, just out of habit, let's just put the big one first. 40 and then 1. Okay, and we knew that they added because that's a plus. And then that was also my cue that I had messed up here, because if they're going to add, these have to be the same sign. Okay, all right, now we have to uncheat. So we're going to uncheat. How did we cheat? We did times 5. Well, that means we got to uncheat by going divided by 5. So there's a 5, there's a 5, cleaning up. 40 divided by 5 gives us 8. And then the next one, we move that 5 in front of the n. So 5n minus 1. I hope y'all are following this. I hope it's pretty clear. Okay, number 7. If not, we can address questions when we get together, okay? So again, I just want x squared, and I want what I want, and I get what I want. So that means I got to multiply 7 times 2. So I got a minus, and then I'm going to put a note out here. I went times 7. So 7 times 2 is 14. All right, let's do our puzzle tray. Puzzle tray. Easy piece, x. Copy my minus. Minus times minus this time is plus. Now I'm going to factor 14. 1 times 14. And remember, it's minus, so we're going to subtract our factor pair. 2 times 7. Those are our only choices. 14 minus 1 is 13, so that's a no-go. But 7 minus 2 is 5, so that's my winner. So I put 7 there and 2 there. Now I have to uncheat. I did times 7, so I'm going to go divide by 7. So put a 7 under. And now I'm ready to simplify the sucker to make it be my answer. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. And I got to move that 7 up in front. So 7x plus 2. And again, it does not, especially on a test or a quiz, it does not hurt to multiply it back out to see if you got it right, if that's the answer you started with. Okay, this has a little bit of a twist. So buckle up, get ready. Don't try to do this one by yourself. Don't decide, oh, I got it. okay? Because you might mess up, and when you do all that and you get lost, and it's not fun. And because this is a new little twist. So I told you the first thing we always want to do is look for a common factor. Okay, so I'm going to look, and 4 doesn't go into 14 or 18, but 4 is not a prime number. So the number that goes into 4 is 2. So I'm going to check and see if 2 goes into everything. Oh, guess what? They're all even numbers. So I can factor out a 2 before I get started, and it makes my numbers not be so crazy big. Okay, so 2 times 2x squared minus 7x minus 9. Well, this is where the twist comes in. We had to factor out that greatest common factor to start with. And now, but guess what? We still don't got our x squared all by its lonesome self. So we want x squared not to have that too. So we got to still do the over under. So we still got to multiply by 2. Now, again, I can't forget about this greatest common factor. He's got to sit out there. And then I'm going to write the rest of this. So minus 7x, and then 2 times 9. I got my minus already. 2 times 9 gives me 18. Now, I am ready to go back to the beginning. So if you notice, I usually try to make things, narrow it down to where it's back to the easy way. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. We're getting it back to the easy way. So what we're going to do is we got to leave that 2 hanging out. We're going to now have our factor or our puzzle tray. So we got x and x. We got minus, and minus times minus is plus. And now I'm going to come over here and factor 18. So, and it's a minus 18. So my factor pair has to subtract to be 7. So 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. So if I subtract, 18 minus 1 does not give me 7. 9 minus 2, what gives me 7? So that is my winning combo. And I'm going to put the big number first. 9 there, 2 there. And I cheated. I went times 2 to begin with. Means I got to uncheat. Down here, I got to go divide by 2. I got to put a 2 under here. So 2 under there, 2 under there. And this time it's not like exactly the way we did all the others. So I'm going to write it in black. So it'll be pretty good to see, maybe. So 2 out front, got to hang. 9 divided by 2 gives me a decimal. So I got to put the 2 in front of the x. So 2x minus 9. And then this one, 2 divided by 2, cancels. It gives me 1. So I get x plus 1 at the end. And that is that. I might have time to do this last one. Let's see. Oh, boy, howdy. Now, it's back to the others. It's back to being just like the others. It's not got the twist that number 7 did. So 9 doesn't go into 8 or 20. 9 has a factor of 3. 9's not prime. It has a factor of 3. But guess what? 3 doesn't go into 8 or 20 either. So we just got to deal with the big numbers. So we're going to do over under. We're going to take that 9, put it over there. Oh, whoa, whoa, Miss Kelly, you almost messed up. Let's back it up, back it up, back it up. I did not notice. This is a cube. So remember I told you always look for the GCF first, and I was only looking at coefficients. I want k squared right there, don't I? Right? But guess what? That's k to the third. So I look, and I've got k to the third, k squared, and k. So that means I do have a GCF. That means I've got a k. So I'm going to pull the k out here, and it's k times 9k squared plus 8k minus 20. That was close. Now it's a quadratic. So again, I still have got my k's, got to hang on out there. But guess what? I still want k squared. I want what I want, and I want what I want, and I get what I want, right? So I got to get rid of that 9. So I'm going to take it over there, and I'm going to put a note out here that I went over and I multiplied by 9. So I'm just going to copy the rest of it, plus 8k minus, and now 9 times 20 is a big number, 180. Okay, that's the number that I have to factor. I was trying to avoid big numbers, but it's not always something that can happen. So, 1 times 1, 80. I'm going to exhaust. You don't have to write all this if you don't want to. 2 times 90, 3 times 60. That's a lot. Those are big ones. We got to get the subtraction to be 8. So, I know I'm not going to be doing all the big numbers. I'm going to just pretend like I did all that. And I'm going to say, well, what about 10 times 18? Oh, look, I jumped to that one. You may not be able to jump to that one, but you may. 18 minus 10 is 8. So that tells me that that's the pair I want. So now my puzzle tray, easy pieces, plus, and then plus times minus is minus. And that's what told me that I'm subtracting, because these are opposite signs. So opposites subtract. Okay. And I'm going to put the big number first. So let's put the 18 right there and the 10 right there. All done, right? Oh, no, I'm not all done. I did it times 9. So I got to undo my cheat. I got to divide by 9. Can this problem get any longer? Okay, we're going to put divide by 9, divide by 9. Now, this looks crazy, but if I just remember, I'm just copying most of it. I'm copying that k. Now here I'm deciding, does 18 divided by 9 give me a pretty number? It does. So I'm just going to copy k plus and put the pretty number. 18 divided by 9 is 2. And then this last one, 10 divided by 9, no go. So I've got to move that 9 up front. 9k minus 10. And we are done. I am going to bid you farewell and wish you the best. And hopefully this helps. We'll see.